Bankman-Fried's case tale as old as time, or is it unique to crypto? And what does it mean for the industry going forward? Let's hear what the former chief economist at the Office of Management and Budget has to say about the outcome of this mega fraud trial. Vance, Ginn, thank you for joining us. Good to have you back on the show. After yesterday's verdict was announced, Damian Williams, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, said the cryptocurrency industry might be new, the players might, like Sam Bankman-Fried, might be new, but this kind of corruption is as old as time. In your mind, was fraud of this nature and scope only able to take place because of cryptocurrency and its vulnerabilities, or can fraud like this take place regardless of the currency used?
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you today. And, this is an unfortunate situation. They've found that he was guilty from the fraud and other things that were going on over there at FTX Exchange. And I think it has put some question marks about cryptocurrency, what this means for the future of it, and how it could be a competitive currency with the dollar and other things, given what's happened with our national debt and everything else. I think people are interested in that. But I don't see this as being a long-term problem for cryptocurrency. This was really an issue dealing with Sam Bankman-Fried. It wasn't something to do with cryptocurrency itself. And as that quote you mentioned said, this is as long as history has been around. I mean, there's always been some sort of fraud that's unfortunately going on. And so I think this is a broader thing that says, hey, look, if you're going to commit fraud and you're going to, do something illegal, you're going to go to jail. This is how things should work, whether it's with crypto, whether it's with the dollar or the banking sector or something else. And so I don't think that this is going to be a long-term hit, although it could provide some uncertainty for people about cryptocurrency in the short run.
And how do other fraud cases compare to this one?
Well, I think whenever you look at fraud cases, whenever you have these sort of wire exchanges, whenever you're using money to grow your own wealth, that otherwise shouldn't be happening with the other people's money in the process. We see this happen with others across time. And so I think this is going to be an interesting period to figure out what happens next. How will they go after folks and make sure that things are done the right way? I think we want people to act legally within the exchanges. That's what the marketplace is all about. And a rule of capitalism is you're still going to have rules in place that people play by the same game, rules of the game. And that's not what happened in this situation. And so I hope that this will be a lesson for people to say, you know what, we're not going to allow for this to happen. And let's make sure we're doing it the right way so we won't have this uncertainty happen.
Vance, the FTX collapse eviscerated over $150 billion in crypto assets. How will this affect investor confidence in digital currencies going forward?
Well, I think this is something that's going to give them pause on whether or not they invest in this. And it will also give some senators, like Senator Elizabeth Warren, more ammunition to regulate what goes on in the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin space and everything else. But I would caution that, because I think we can jump to conclusions that this is widespread across one market, this market being the cryptocurrency market, and instead looking at these are bad actors within the market, just like in many other areas of our economy. And so while this is a new market, and it's new for many people as they're learning more about cryptocurrency and everything else, I think we need to be very cautious about getting more government involvement, because this is what happens in the marketplace is you can weed out the bad actors, whether it's through the legal system like this here or through losses, and that pushes people out of the market. So it's unfortunate that $150 billion was lost from this situation, but I hope that it will create another lesson for people to learn from for the future.
And what kind of regulations are being put forward and proposed here?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the central bank digital currency that some in Congress want. The Federal Reserve has talked about it. Other countries have talked about it. And I think that is a bad step. That would not be a good thing for the government to get more involved in a marketplace. And basically the Federal Reserve has reduced the value of our dollar, our purchasing power, by about 98% since it was created in 1913. I don't want them to come into another market and messing it up as well. But there are other regulations about how do we put rules of the game in place to make sure that it's not the Wild West within the cryptocurrency space. But at the same time, I really believe that free markets work. And I believe that you need very limited rules if they're going to put any rules in place. Let's be very cautious of that, because we've seen some massive rules and regulations from Dodd-Frank and other bills within the broader financial sector that hasn't really worked very well. So let's make sure we're not going too far.
All right, Vance Ginn, president of Ginn Economic Consulting. Thank you.
Thank you.